Hi guys. Today is another wonderful day in South Arkansas. It's a little on the chilly side, but I would still love to be working on the Samurai today. Unfortunately, that is not possible as I still don't have any parts. I'm still hung up on the financial side. I am still yet to start this job and all that jazz. So today, we're going to go inside, work on the computer, and we're going to go try and figure out at least what sensors I need to put onto this wiring harness, this wiring schematic that I've designed, so that the Microsquirt and the custom chassis harness will work together. So we're going to go figure out what sensors off of a couple different drawings and schematics. We're going to look through the Microsquirt instructions and see what it needs to run. And then we're going to put those into the drawing. And then later down the road, when we've figured all that out, when I'm building this, I'll know, hey, I have to have this, I have to have that. Now, the cool part about it is the one that I've been drawing is for a carbureted Samurai that has had the ECU deleted. This is already an EFI Samurai, and we're going to keep it EFI, and we're going to use the same, the harness, not the harnesses, but the sensors, and the injector and everything. I am trying to figure out some things with the injector pulse, because there is just one injector in this thing. So we're going to try to do a little bit more research and figure that out. Hopefully I can at least get the wiring problems sorted in the next week or two, at least the theory stuff. And then hopefully in the next month or two, I'll be able to go ahead and get the Microsquirt. I already have, let's see, what do I need to buy? I need the Microsquirt V3 itself. I need the Deutsch style connectors, the solid pins, and the plastic, what's it called? Not the heat shrink. It's like the wire protector stuff. It's on the outside of it. It's ribbed, and I cannot think of what it's called to save my life. Anyway, we need that. And the P-clamps that I bought were plastic. I did not know that, so I'm gonna have to order metal P-clamps as well. And that's gonna be pretty much all I need to get this thing running and driving well. It's still two-wheel drive, all that. We're gonna worry about all the axles, the drivetrain, engine swapping later. We're gonna worry about all that later, probably spring or summer of next year. My primary directive right now is to get this thing running and driving really well. In hot weather and cold weather, I want flawless cold starts. So without any more delay, here we go. So what you're looking at is me looking at the Microsquirt website. The colorful chart on the right is the one I've been modifying and touching up and stuff. The one on the left is the diagram for the Microsquirt V3 from the Microsquirt website. And so you see I've added in the TPS, the throttle position sensor, and injector, because my Samurai only has one injector. My Samurai has a fuel pump, but this diagram does not, so I wanted to add a fuel pump into this diagram because I want to make this all integral. I want to make this as OEM looking as possible, but it's not going to match. The only diagram it's going to match is this one. And when this is all said and done, I will be able to go all the way through the Samurai and show exactly what parts I used, part numbers, where I got the stuff, what I paid for it. We'll do a cost breakdown at the end. And then I will be able to release this completed wiring diagram for anybody who wants to convert their Samurai to what mine is. But all the artwork from the Microsquirt website was like way too good for this diagram, so I'm kind of like backpedaling the art a little bit, just trying to make the fuel pump, 2 colors, just for simplicity's sake, because it just makes my brain feel better. And I'm hoping this is kind of like an ASMR type thing. I hope that people watch it and it's like, ooh man, that's satisfying. So that's kind of why we're doing this the way that we're doing this. And most of the work that I had to do was this. This is all I can do right now. So I am 100% certain there is a better way to do what I'm doing, but I don't know it. I'm doing this the way that I know how. So if anybody's got any comments, any tips for how to operate this particular program, please let me know, because I would love to get more efficient at this. I don't want to call it graphic design, but I mean, that's kind of what I'm doing. So, anyway. When I was doing this in real time, it was not very fun. It was very tedious. But now that I'm sitting back and watching it at the same speed that you're watching it, it makes me feel really good. Makes me happy. So I hope that it also makes you happy.
Let's paint in a few little happy trees there. Nothing wrong with making friends with trees.
So, anyways.
And now back to your regularly scheduled program.
So you'll see what I'm doing here is I'm starting to scope out letters so that I can relabel these devices that I've input. They were labeled, but I'd like to have all the same font. Again, it's just a me thing. None of this is necessary, but it's going to make future Jesse very happy, and it's going to be very easy to understand for future Jesse when I go to build this harness and when I go to, get this thing going. So you can see the extent I'm going through. I'm just trying to get the letter J, and it's a whole process. It's going to take me a minute just to get that. And it still doesn't look right at the end. I should have done capital J without the cross at the top, but whatever, we're here now. I can go back and fix it, I guess, but I'm not going to. So I got injector built, and then I found fuel, so I didn't have to build that. That was nice. And then I had to go try to search for the word fuel pump, because I finished fuel injector, and now I need a fuel pump. And I guess I did the throttle position sensor last. I think it was the most work though. Position and sensor are already on there. I didn't do that already, did I? You'll have to forgive me. I'm watching these and recording my voice over this on a separate device, and then I'll upload my voice. Yeah, here's me building the throttle to do the throttle position sensor. Okay, that's all starting to make sense. Here we go. And then I already knew where position and sensor were. So that was nice. Didn't have to build those out. Got to looking and I realized that since it was a carbureted schematic, it also did not have an O2 sensor. My Samurai has an O2 sensor, so I'm just putting it over in the schematic so I know where the wiring goes and comes from and everything. So that's all I'm doing here. And I think this was like the last thing that had to go in. I put the Microsquirt plug in there earlier, but I still don't know for sure where everything's gonna go. So this week is gonna be research, and then next week's video will be where I think all the wiring is supposed to go from the Microsquirt. Got the O2 sensor put in, but the font again wasn't right, so I had to go find a place to harvest O and 2 from, and I thought 2 was going to be tricky to find, but it turned out not being bad. And then sensors on this thing like 5 different times, so I wasn't very worried about that. And for the map sensor, again, sensors on this schematic like 4, 5, 6 different times. But I ended up not gutting the color out of the sensor that I moved over from the Microsquirt website because I just didn't want to at that point. I figured that was okay. So I'll have to go back and figure out which one of the lines coming out of it on the Microsquirt website is the vacuum line. And then I'll just have to put an arrow and then like this goes to da-da-da-da-da, and we'll just go from there, because the vacuum source is not going to be electronic. It's going to be the intake manifold, because it measures load on the engine. So that's how we're going to do that. So, as I went over, this week I'm going to be doing a bunch of research, because there was a lot of stuff in that in the instructions for the Microsquirt that I don't comprehend. So I'm going to be Googling a lot of stuff, coming back and visually, physically referencing this vehicle to what I read, checking out Suzuki forums, things like that. So come next week, I should be able to put the wiring from that plug in the top right of the schematic and run it to all the sensors that they need to go to. So, acorn. So, until then, thank you for watching, and thanks for subscribing, and I'll see you next week. Bye.